All right, we are live. And for those of you who are new, this is Kim Andersack. I am the South Carolina Homeschooling Connection. I am the self appointed busybody of homeschooling in South Carolina. And one of my favorite things to do is find resources that are relevant and useful for some of our people in South Carolina, especially. And this time I have got with me a great one. So, we are going to go ahead and get started chatting, but hopefully the Facebook will notify people that we are live and they will start kind of following along. I see I will start to notice some of the eyeballs as we go. And then people who want to watch afterwards, if you catch this on the replay, go ahead and drop your chat and questions in the box, and we will come back and answer afterwards as well. And I will try to keep an eye on the live questions as we go. So, but here's the resource that I have found for us today. It is Elizabeth Dixon with the early social development and intervention lab. I think I got all the words right. Out of USC, and they run a really great program that I'm so glad you're here to tell us more about.
Certainly, yeah. And thanks so much for having us, Kim. Really excited to be joining you guys this afternoon. And so my name is Elizabeth Dixon, and I am the Recruitment and Outreach Coordinator with the Early Social Development Lab. And I have here with me Katie, who is a research coordinator and has been working with our research team for the last year. So we're both excited to join you guys today. And so
Very
our research is housed in the psychology department at USC. It's led by Dr. Jessica Bradshaw, who is an assistant professor and the director of the Early Social Development and Intervention Lab, ESDI Lab for short.
ESDI. Oh, that is easier.
Yeah, yeah, you can say that. That's perfect. And so our research is aimed to help support earlier identification and treatment for autism spectrum disorders within the first year of life. And so the goal with this is that, if we can find a way to effectively diagnose and intervene within infancy for infants that may go on to develop autism or start showing some autism features, then that could really help to promote that early intervention for these kids, which could then help potentially change their lives, in years to come.
Right.
Um, and so,
When do they usually catch autism spectrum? When is that?
yeah, so we can't behaviorally diagnose autism until about 2 years of age. That's typically the earlier side of it. In the United States, though, the average diagnosis is about 4 to 4.5 years of age. And so if we can shift that window of time, within that first year of life, that first 6 to 12 months of life,
Yeah.
and then get those interventions in place when the brain is still developing and when neuroplasticity is really at its peak, our
Mm-hmm.
hope is that this could really help to decrease some of the challenging behaviors that can accompany autism later on down the road, and to just really help to, enhance those developmental outcomes for these kids.
Awesome.
So that's the focus of the research as a whole. I'm happy to share a little bit more with you through the slideshow and give
Okay.
your audience, a
Yep.
little bit more
Keep.
information and who can actually participate and qualify. So let me pull that up. All right, and can you see me okay?
Can. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So like I mentioned, we're the Early Social Development and Intervention Lab led by Dr. Jessica Bradshaw. And we follow infants and their families from birth through the first 2 to 3 years of life. And during this study, we look for early social and language skills, and we also look at how our babies are developing with their motor skill abilities. Our ultimate goals through the research, as I mentioned, is to improve earlier detection of autism. We also are working to help inform caregivers about their child's developmental outcomes. We also want to be here to provide further resources for families that have children with autism. We know that kids with autism often have, various needs, and we want to try to help connect families with as many resources as possible. And then we also are striving to create a community for children with autism and their families, by providing some different services, some different, activities, different events that are really catered towards the autism community. For example, we have a respite care program that we provide for families who are involved in our research. This is where we provide caregivers with a few hours on scheduled Saturday mornings when they can drop their kids off with our team. We watch the kids and the parents can go off and enjoy a morning for themselves. So that's just one resource that we're really trying to build up here at the university for those families.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah. And so if anybody's wondering, well, who can participate? Like,
yes.
This is awesome research, but like, am I eligible, or who are you guys studying? So right now we have spots available for infants who have an older biological sibling with autism. So we know that infants with older siblings with autism have about a 20% likelihood of going on to develop autism themselves. And so this research, again, is really aimed to help support those babies and really follow them very closely, and help to, identify, early intervention strategies or new ways of intervening for this population in the future. And so we're bringing those babies in. We're also bringing in babies who are born preterm, so anywhere between 28 and 36 weeks gestation at the time of birth. And then we're also bringing in babies who have no history of autism and are considered typically developing. So that means that they have older biological siblings who do not have, autism and are considered typically developing. We're also recruiting expecting parents who may fit the above categories and who may just really want to get involved in this research.
That feels like anybody with an infant.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And I'll also say that, this infant study is one study that we have at the university, but we also have a number of other studies for infants, children, and families. So if anybody's interested in participating in this research, but maybe their infant's a little older, maybe over the 4-month mark, still have them reach out to us because we have some other study openings that they might be a good fit for. All right, and so the lab activities. In our lab, participants will engage in some different play-based developmental assessments with different toys and with their caregivers. We also have our babies watch some short videos while their eye movements are being recorded. And so you'll see a picture over here of one of our babies watching a short video, and we're actually tracking their attention and where their eyes are focusing in on the screen. And then we also have our babies and caregivers wear heart rate monitors where we measure their heart rate. Lab visits are about 2 hours in length. They happen about every month until the participant is about 6 months old, and then about once every 3 months until the participant is about 24 months. And then we have one additional study visit at the 3-year mark as well. And so benefits to families, families that do participate, they have the chance to receive some free feedback on their child's development. It's a chance for them to just really get involved and learn a little bit more about those early developmental milestones as they are happening during the lab visits. Families also have the option to receive some recommendations for further services if there's a need for that. So for example, if we see a baby and if we're noticing, that maybe some additional early intervention might be helpful for them, then we'll connect the family and help them get access to those early intervention services if there's a need. And then families also receive a full clinical report at the end of the study. But during the study process, if families have any questions about how their baby is developing, we're always here to help answer those questions and to give them some feedback. And then one of the other benefits is that we pay you for participation. So families receive $25 after each study visit, with the opportunity to earn up to $300 for full participation. So that's another perk.
Yes, a great perk.
Yes. Yeah.
Free feedback about your child's progress and development, resources to help you if you need additional support somewhere, and a little bit of bonus. I like it.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And these developmental assessments, they can get pretty costly if you go and get them, through another provider. But everything we do here is for free. And again, we do pay you for participation as well.
Excellent.
And so this is just a way to contact us if you're interested in participating or getting involved with this study. You can either contact us at this email address that's listed here. You can also send us a text at the number that's listed or give us a call. If you are a family listening and you know of another family that might qualify for this research or be interested, you can also refer them by going over to our website and filling out a refer form. We do ask that you have the family's permission before making a referral so that they know we're going to contact them.
Yeah. Well, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if the family's interested, you can just send their information to our email address as well, and we'll be happy to connect with them.
Yeah.
And this is just some other ways that you can get in touch with us. We do have a Facebook account and an Instagram, and we also have a website as well. And this is a QR code where you can make a referral directly.
Yes. And I noticed I started following your Facebook page. I noticed some of the other studies are also promoted on that page too. So.
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned earlier, we have a number of other studies that support children and families who are affected by autism or who have a child that's diagnosed with autism. And so, if there's a family out there that's listening that has a child with autism, but not a younger infant in the home, we may still be able to connect you with some resources and some research opportunities. So definitely give us a call.
Yep. Yep. I know we're getting lots of families into the homeschool community that have special needs and specifically autism. So when I met you, I was like, oh, I've got to find some more information and get this out into the people that are, your target audience that are ideal candidates to participate with you. So I'm so excited that you were able to come and tell us all about this today. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
And we didn't get anybody with live questions, but if anyone does have questions afterwards, you can always drop it into the box afterwards. And I'm always monitoring my page, and we will either find the answer for you or get you in touch with someone who does have the answer. So hopefully lots of people will watch the replay, and we'll get you some more context soon.
That sounds great. One more thing to add, we do have some home visit options. So even if families are outside of Columbia, we do have options to do some home visits and come directly to you. So wanted to mention that as well.
That's right. We did talk about that too. Yes, because you are located in Columbia, and so either they need to be willing to come to Columbia to participate in this, but don't get ruled out just because you don't want to come to Columbia. They have a way to possibly come to you. So that's another good point. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
All right. And we'll see everyone the next time.
See ya.